Good morning, guys. How are you? Hopefully you're having a good start to your day. Hopefully it was better than my night last night. Not a good night in the NBA last night, but 1-1 NHL. So, you know what? Wake up. The sun is shining. Right back at her today, and hopefully we can break down some of these games here today for you guys today. If you guys are out there in the chat land there, just give me a. Can you guys hear me? Good morning, guys. How are you? Hopefully you're having a good start to your day. I know the sound's working. Orlando Phoenix. Hey, Adam, how you doing, buddy? Right at it. Hey, Orlando Phoenix. No, good morning. Go. How are you? Let's go. Give me the picks. Right on. Hey, how you doing, guys? Isaiah, Chad, how you doing, boys? Hopefully you guys had a good night. Hey, gang. Yeah. Everybody have a good night last night? Everybody, hopefully you guys had a better night than I did. I didn't have a good night, but, hey, today's another day. We're going to kick the can today, right? All right, guys. So what I'm going to do here, each and every time I start these podcasts now, I'm going to start with a bit of the SBI. If you're new to the Raymond Report, I look at the fundamentals of handicapping through percentage play, value, and performance cycles, right? And what I'm going to do, look at last night in the NBA. NBA last night, and I thought I talked about this yesterday. We were starting a bull market in the overs, right? Look at this. The last 7 days in the NBA, 64.4% of the overs went over the total last night. 7-2, 4-4 for the favorites. I had a lot of underdogs yesterday. Still, 60.1% of underdogs are coming in the last 7 days. The only thing I don't like here now is we started to turn a corner for a bit of a neutral market. So we're going to keep an eye out on the overs today, guys. I think the overs are going to be, they're coming into play. Look at that. 7-2 last night, 78% and 59.40. So I'm going to be looking at overs today to see what's going to happen. And this is how I started all my handicapping. I look at the night before. Let's take a look at the NHL before we get back into. I had a bad feeling. Yeah, you know what? I had a bad feeling too, Isaiah. As soon as I saw that quick lead of what was it, 14-6 or something like that, 17-6, and they always play catch up the whole night, the Chicago Bulls. And it's just when you play catch up, nothing good ever happens, right? And Levine wasn't on last night. Cody White wasn't on. The Bulls weren't on last night. Hopefully, it's unfortunate for Pinky Bitcoin there. He had the win streak snap. So you know what? Get back on the horse today and let's go at it, right? All right, look at last night in the NHL. Went 3-2 in the NHL with my picks. So 1-1 in my members area. 2-3 over under last night. 4-1. Guys, look at this. NHL's Raptors like the Raiders. Yeah, exactly. The Raptors last night looked awesome. You know, that was the best I've seen Toronto look all year. Chicago, you're right, Isaiah. They had a long homestand and probably enjoying too much of that Florida temperature when they got there, right? How you doing, Elliot? All right, so look at this. What you're seeing right here, guys, is all the favorites coming in the NHL. I like taking dogs, but you know what? Sometimes you got to go with the flow, right? And look at the favorites that are just coming in at a high clip. 4-1 last night. This was since the NHL started January 13. Look at all the favorites that just ran today. So these are all like 7 games. So to 21, 24. Out of 24 days, 22 have been gone to the favorites. So if you like NHL hockey, start betting favorites because they won't let you down. All right, let's go to NBA today, guys. We got a 1:00 game. And biorhythms. Yeah, exactly, right? Hey, man, my guy who started this in the late 80s or early 90s, when I first got into the industry in 96, and there was a guy who handicapped with biorhythms, and he just went on body clock, right? Think about it. You know, your body clock is different at certain times, especially if you're traveling from the east to the western time zone. Your sleep patterns are all out of whack. Brooklyn cost me big. I had them on a 3-team. Yeah, you know what? Brooklyn. Yeah, you knew things were going bad that last night when Kevin Durant was in and out of the lineup. He didn't. And how do you want him to feel when he's being like, he knows in the back room they're doing tests and he might get yanked anytime, right? It just affected the whole team. That situation with Durant last night affected the whole because everybody's just wondering, oh, is Kevin all right? Is he okay? Yeah, I can just imagine what it was like on the bench. All right, let's go to Portland against the New York Knicks here, guys. Now, Portland goes into this game as a 1-point favorite, over under at 215. 113 to 106, over under at 220.5. And looking at the Portland last 10 games, 70% of their games have gone over the total. The value edge here on the Knicks today, I have them at 1.79. You're getting exactly that one. If you like Portland, and what was it, our guy there yesterday with Damian Lillard? I don't know if he was a big fan of D. Lillard there, but you know what? We'll see today. They're playing at 1 o'clock tip off, or actually, 1 o'clock at the Gardens, and we'll see what happens there. 61% chance of winning for Portland today. This is a pick 'em. If you like Portland today, might as well take the money line. Don't even bother with the -1. Spend the extra $5-10. Take the money line, so this way you don't have to sweat it out. But take the +1 if you do like the Knicks. Last 2 games for New York has gone under. The last 4 for Portland has gone over. Look at this. This is always interesting. Since I've coached a lot of football, the mindset of your team is always different on the opponent you're facing, right? When you're facing, say, a team that, like, look at these 2 teams right here. They're pretty much even. Look at their record, right? 12-9, 10-13. They're in the middle of the pack. The mindset is this: like these are games that both teams think they should win. When you got a Lakers taking on, like say a team that's one of the bad teams in the league, then Lakers like, okay, this is a cakewalk. We should just go in there and get the bench going in the second half and win, right? But these type of games, both teams feel they should win, and these type of teams. Look at this. Where was I here? Right here. Look at this. So I got a B-type team against a C-type team in the Raymond report. Now, the B-type team means a team that's 50% to 59% in the standings against a C-that team that is 50% below the standings. So a team below 500. Anytime Portland's on the road against a team below 500, they're 4-2 straight up, 5-1 against the spread, 4-2. And this is what I'm saying, right? This is a team that feels they should beat. This is a winnable game for them, but the New York Knicks are thinking the same thing. Now, the Knicks coming off a loss to Chicago. Chicago seems like last night a bad thing, but look at that. Chicago last 2 games they played the Knicks 107-103, and then 110-102. So they're coming off a good win against the Bulls, and then the Trailblazers big upset over the 76ers. So is there a letdown factor here today for Portland? Take a look at some of the stats and trends here on this game. A lot of overs. Look at this. So far, road teams 24-15 to the over. Teams that are coming off 4 overs. So this is an interesting stat. Teams coming off 4 overs this year, the under is 9-2 in the next game. So something to really consider right there. But look at the history between these 2 teams. You got the last time these 2 teams met. It was January 24th, 116-113 win for Portland. So it was a close game, right? Now, looking at the New York Knicks in this game, at home, they are 4-5 at home, 4-5 against the number, 3-6 to the under. So they play a lot of under games here today, guys. And for the Portland Trailblazers, 8-3 on the road, but 2-8. Jekyll and Hyde. This is what I call my Jekyll and Hyde syndrome team. They're Jekyll on the road, but they hide at home against the point spread, right? What do you guys think? Portland, New York. You know what? I gotta go. Anytime I got a game like this, I always tend to go with the best player on the floor. And that to me right now is Damian Lillard. And I think Portland is where you want to go here. All right, let me go to the questions here. Brooklyn cost me, Nets like him cheats, but you keep going back. Wake up with your wallet missing. Knicks, yeah. Land of basketball, good site. Knicks is the play at Boston. You think Knicks is the play, right? You know what? I don't know. I'm still undecided, but an early lean here to let me see the percentage play. Percentage does favor the Knicks at 59% of covering, 45% chance. I think the under is where you want to go in this one. All right, let's take a look at this one. Denver, Sacramento. Take a little bit of coffee here. That Boston stat in the query was money yesterday. Oh, really? Nice. The Boston Bruins or the Celtics. Yes. Yeah. Celtics was a nice win. That was the only one that I really, that's probably the only one I won. Last night. So the teams that really disappointed me last night, Chicago was one. Detroit, man, Detroit just, Phoenix, just put it to them, right? Let me see. Charlotte, Charlotte didn't play well. Minnesota won. Toronto was the upset of the night. That was a great win for the Raptors. All right, let's take a look at the next game here. We got Denver taking on the Sacramento Kings. Now the Nuggets come in this one a 3-point road favorite. The over/under at 228. We got this one tight here, 114.9, 114.2. But look at Denver's record on the road this year: 7-4 straight up, 7-4 against the number. They're 14-7 to the over this season, where the Sacramento King, my guy, Buddy Buckets and company, 13-8 to the over. But the thing is, look at this, 8-4 to the over at home. They tend to cover more when they're on the road. 6-4 against the spread against Denver in the last 10 games. And looking at some of the other stats here, let me see. The last time these two teams met was December 29th, 2020. So still a while. 125 to 115, a win for Sacramento. I'm all messed up my days because of COVID. Let me see here. I don't know. What do you guys like in this one? This, to me, Sacramento, look at this, 6 ATS wins in a row. This is a team, even though they're only on a 2-game win streak, you look at their last 7 games, 5-2 in their last 7, 5-5 in their last 10. They're on a good little run here. 4-1 in their last 5 games, where Denver's 3-2. Denver coming off a loss. I think this is the first time, I don't know, this season that they score less than 100 points in a game. Let me check here. Let me see Denver. That's one thing I like to look, see how many times a team, especially an offensive powerhouse like Denver, see they've only double digits. Let me see here. 89 points. That was New York. So here, they've only been in double digits once this season. That was last game. So they normally tend to bounce back. That was, you don't see it. And they were up by 10 in that game. If you recall watching that Denver Laker game, they were up by 10 at halftime. And then I went to bed and I woke up. It was like, what happened here? 114-93. Must have pooped the bed in the second half. This is a tough one here. I think what's the total at? 228. And we got 229 as the number. The Kogo 43. What's the line movement on this game? What do you guys like in this one? Buddy Buckets. You know what, man? Go look at his foundation. He helps the teenage youth, at-risk youth. I love that because it hits home for me. So it just, I think it's the greatest nickname in basketball, Buddy Buckets. I just like saying Buddy Buckets too. 228. You know what? This is a tough one. Joker's been playing well. 5-5. This I'm not going to force any plays here, but if I had to look at anything right now, what's the 43%? Maybe the over is where I'm leaning. Take the Kings. Kings at home, 6 ATS wins, and my rules of streaks, right? I don't mess with streaks because you never know when this is going to finish. So I think the over is where I think I'd lean so far. But again, more handicapping needs to be done in this game. I got to see the lineups. We're getting thrown a lot of curveballs these days. The Atlanta game the other night when they took out Trae Young against Utah really screwed my over. I didn't see that coming. So that's one thing I got to be more wary of prior to tip-off. Denver has a lot of questionable players and Bucks next game. What do you mean by questionable, Isaiah? Like not in the lineup today or just not playing well right now? I'm leaning Kings, but I'm going to pass. You know what? Let me bring up the injury report so far, see if I see anything on this game. Because this is an afternoon tip-off? Yeah, 5 o'clock. So this is going to be a 5 o'clock tip-off. So let me see here. No, everybody looks like it's good. Just Jamal Murray's game time decision with the knee. So everything, the thing is too, right? The Sacramento Kings are they're playing good. This is, I always talk about cycles. Right now, Sacramento's going through a good cycle. And Denver upsetting, Utah on Sunday and snapping that 11-game ATS win streak. That's something you don't ignore, right? But they're coming off a loss in their last game to the Lakers. So what kind of mood they're going to be in now today? But again, I don't mess with streaks. So, but again, I think the over is where you want to lean in this one. Bulls today over Magic in regards to lineup. Okay, in regards to lineup. All right. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, let's go back to the scene of the crime here from last night. Orlando taking on the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Bulls were a 2-point favorite yesterday. Now they're a 1-point favorite. Let's see what the latest line move is on this game. I'd like to know what Pinky, if Pinky's on here, what does he like in this game? I know he liked the Bulls last night, 217, 224. Look at the line movement on the over here, 224, and then open up at 1. That's where we're at 1. So it looks like the money coming in the over. And, last night, let me see, Kobe White last night didn't have a really great night. Let me see, 16 points last night, 34 minutes. What about Zach LaVine? I thought he had an okay game. 26 points. Yeah, pretty average for Zach, 36 minutes. I thought Valentine had a pretty good game. Williams. So Williams last night, 20 points for Williams. You know what? That was his best game of the year. Williams played probably, hang on. Here, let me see if I got this right. Yeah, 20 points last night. Williams had his best game of the year. I'm probably going back to the well here. I'm probably going to go with the Bulls here today. It's just, there's 3 teams I always put under my radar. It was this year in cycles, right? And in baseball, if you followed my baseball, I had 3 teams that I always looked. All they did was Tampa Bay was one of them. All they did was just win at the beginning of the year. Chicago, Memphis, and Charlotte were teams right now. They're in my radar. But Houston, I'm telling you, the Houston Rockets right now, they're in my radar right now because they're covering a lot of spreads. And I tend to look for teams that are not public favorites, like, Lakers, Clippers, the Bucks. That's too easy, right? They got to get the job done. But teams that are, like last year, Oklahoma City Thunder, great under the radar team. All they did was cover spreads. And I think Houston's going to be that team right now. Sacramento's that team right now. But Bulls today, guys, I think I like Chicago in this one. 8-3 against the spread, 12-9 on the season, and 5-7 Orlando. Can Orlando put 2 back-to-back victories? That's the big question. Where are they in their last? Look at that, 1-4. 1-4 in the last 5, 2-5, averaging 107 in their last 7 points for, and 115 points against. Days rest. So look at this. Any NBA road teams this year playing on 0 days rest, and they're picking the -3 road favorite. 4-1 against the number. Give me the Chicago Bulls tonight. 7:00 tip off. Hopefully they're not out at Disneyland there today getting too much sun. All right, what do you guys like? Do you like the Bulls, the Magic? Oh yeah, keep an eye on the over today, guys. 7-2 to the over. We're in a bull market right now for overs. If you watch the beginning of the show, I track the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and I always tend to look to see what's coming in, right? Think like a bookmaker, like my good friend Ross Benjamin always says. Now, Minnesota won last night. There must be some lineup changes here for OKC because now they're the favorite. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander looks like, hey, he's the difference. He's out of the lineup. Minnesota's a favorite. He's in the lineup. Thunder's a favorite. So the Bulls. Right on. Hey guys, yeah, great job. Anytime we talk about a game, just throw your opinion in there. So this way I can get a consensus on what you guys like, and and everybody can see it, right? We're going game by game. And this way, with 27 people watching, and again, thanks for tuning in to the Rain Report. Let's get a consensus going on these games. Now, the Rain Report has about 3 ties today. This one here, 109 to 109. The over-under at 218. Look how tight the number is with the computer pick. Computer pick's been hitting like 62% straight up on the year, so I'm not going to argue with the computer selections right now. 3-7. You can hear my dog Rusty in the background. Wants to come on the show. Everybody knows Rusty, right? Look at the value here. So there's really no value on these teams here today. Plus 7.05 for the Thunder. Any streaks to worry about? Last 5 games have gone under for the T-Wolves. And when they're on the road against a C-type team, they're 1-4. So yesterday was their only time they beat a team below 500 in the standings. So, you know what? I'm going back to OKC today. I think with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the lineup might make it a little bit of a difference. Let me see here. 3-6. The thing I don't like with Oklahoma, and somebody brought this to my attention yesterday, they suck at home. They're absolutely brutal. Look at this: 2-8 at home, 3-6-1. But you're playing Minnesota. Minnesota's no, they won their first game on the road in a while yesterday. What's their last? Let me see. Just took the streaks here: 2-5 in their last 7, 3-7 in the last 10, 1-2. They're a mess. They're an absolute mess right now. And still no cat, I don't think. Game time decision. So, COVID-19. So, keep an eye out for Karl Anthony Towns. He might be playing today. Magic were last. It's OKC. I think the Bulls get this one over. Antonio likes the over. Yeah, you know what, Antonio? I'm looking for overs today because we're in a bull market for overs. All right. So what's the consensus on this one? I'm taking OKC. I think, look at the percentage of the Kogo, 69%. And if you're been following the Raymond report, the one thing I look at is things can't, win and lose forever, and overs and unders can't contain that pace, right? So the last 5 games have gone under. The bookmaker sees that, and he's going to adjust. Let's take a look at the line movement on this game between the Thunder and the T-Wolves. Open up 218. That's where we're at right now, -1. So, yeah, give me OKC today, guys. You guys on OKC or the T-Wolves? Not sure. All right, let's go to the next game. Oh, here we go. Let's see if Trae Young's going to be in the lineup here tonight. I'm going to take a little quick peek at my roster here. Toronto. Where are you, Raptors? There you go. Trae Young, game time decision. I think it's his calf, right? Yeah. Game time decision. I hope he plays. I love watching him. He's good. Herder, he's got to start hitting more threes. Trae Young, Bogdanovich, inactive. Dunn, Hunter. Man, Atlanta's, if Atlanta could stay healthy, they'd have better luck. They wouldn't be. They'd be above 500. If Atlanta could stay healthy, they'd be a better. They'd be above 500. They'd be a B-type team. There's no way they should be a C-type team below 500. 3-game losing streak, coming off a tough loss to the Jazz. And that blows the. When your top player comes out of the lineup prior to game time, that sucks, right? But one thing with Atlanta, they got to pick it up at home. 5-7 at home, 5-7 against the spread. But look at this. 4-8 to the under, 16-6 to the under. They got so much firepower, but you think a lot of their games would go over the total, and this is why when you get these high-profile, gifted athletes like Trae Young who are offensive weapons, there's a perception out there over, right? Like this guy's going to score 40 buckets a night. People, the media see, they run with that. The bookmakers see that, but to keep up that pace of scoring, look at this. Like, let's take a look at their last 7 games. So 102 last 3 points for, 110 last 5, 110. So on average, let's take a look at their season average. They're averaging 111 points on offense, giving up 110. So they're pretty standard on defense. Look at that, 110 points against, 113 in the last 3 games. But the offense has got to pick up right here. 102 points for, where the Raptors are playing some good basketball right now, scoring 120 points for, giving up 109 against. So Raptors are playing really good. I hope the Raptors can start a streak, Chad, because you know what? they've gone through a tough year. Losing Ibaka, losing Marc Gasol, and that you take out those 2 big guys, and Baines and Len, they're just not Gasol and Ibaka. I'm sorry, but Siakam struggles a bit sometimes, but thank God Pascal had a good game last night. It was nice to see him have a good game. It's what Siakam is all confidence. You can see in his body language when he's having a tough first quarter, it drags on the whole game. He's got to shake that off. You're a pro, man. You're a pro. Just shake it off. Next play. The most important play in any sport is the next play. And a little still disappointing the whining. I think the Raptors are the most whiniest team in the league. When I see Nick Nurse almost on his knees begging for calls, and I see Lowry, I just want to lose it. Like, as a coach, I just like, guys, quit the whining. There's no cheese on the bench. I can't stand whiners. Playing sports my whole life, coaching, whining gets you nowhere. Whining brings negative energy. If you just keep whining, all you're attracting is negative energy, and you're just pissing off the refs, and you don't think you're not going to get that the questionable calls, right? So they got to stop the whining. 116 and 113, the computer pick. 6-4 against the point spread today for the Raptors in the last 10. The percentage play though for the chance of covering, 75% chance of covering for the Atlanta Hawks today, guys. Atlanta, they're a funny team. They really are. And the Toronto Raptors so inconsistent, but they're on a 3-game win streak. And you know my rule, right? When you're on a 3-game win streak, you can talk me in and out of taking that team, but as soon as you get to 4, then I'm on board. I'm all in. Right now, Toronto, I'm not all in. And because of the inconsistency you play, I have to lean with Atlanta in this one. There's no way. I don't know if Atlanta, and let's face it, the Raptors coming off a big win last night in Brooklyn, no matter what the KD situation was and if it was a distraction for the Nets, bottom line, this right here, open up the newspaper, 123-117. That's what it said today. Nobody looked at the game who didn't watch the game. All they see is this. 123-117. Boom. Raptors win, right? But here's the thing. Oh, man, I just saw that. I didn't know that, I got to, well, what's that old song? Things that make you go, Look at this. 0-10 in their last games against the Raptors. I didn't see that. 3-7 against the spread. Yeah, they cry a lot. I wish they stopped crying, Lance. All right. Yeah, this one, it hit me like a brick right in the face right there. 0-10. Atlanta is 0-10 in their last 10 head-to-head matches with the Raptors. So just because of that, I'm probably going to lay off. As much I was, all the unders have come in those games, there's a lot of firepower here to go over the total. 230 is what I have. And what's the Kogo? 45%. So still likes it to go under. I don't know. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes you overanalyze things, right? And you get a lot of information. But knowledge is power, but it's the way you use that power to your advantage. I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking here, guys. Any questions? Anything you guys want to bring to my attention on this game? 33 people. Like to thanks everybody for watching, and hopefully we can get you guys each and every day. We're going to do this. So weekday, the game plan is 2 to 3 on weekdays. I think doing 11 o'clock podcasts with all the late line movements, the changes won't benefit anybody. Plus, I do all my research and homeworks and then other videos in the morning. I feel on the weekday, 2 to 3 is perfect. And then weekends, right before noon, get as much information out there. Hopefully, we can help some people win and get you guys some information. And hopefully, you guys will follow. And the thing is, everybody who handicaps sports has their own theory on doing things, right? You don't have to believe in the Raymond Report. You don't have to believe in what I'm trying to tell you guys every day. You can take little pieces of the puzzle that I throw out here every day. And I always say, everybody who's a handicapper or likes the sports bet, it's like creating your own robot. You can take pieces of robot from everywhere and create your own system. And hopefully I'm able to share with you guys some of my knowledge that, I've been doing this, 24 years now. So, it's not my first barbecue type thing, right? So, I think the over is where you want to go on this one. Milwaukee, Cleveland. Now, anybody had Cleveland last night? We're going to get to hockey in just a minute, guys. I know I know NBA is a little bit more popular right now, but we will get to hockey in a bit. The Bucks -10, over under at 228, 122 to 113. So can the Bucks put two big performances together? In fact, you know what? Milwaukee, this got my attention right here. 17-5 to the over this season. 9-2 at home, 8-3 on the road. 17-5. Think about that. Anybody playing defense anymore in Milwaukee? And for Cleveland, 7-6 at home, 6-7 against the number. But look at this, 1-9 straight up against the Bucks, 3-7 in their last 10, 4-6 to the under. I don't know. What do you guys like today? You like the Bucks or the Cleveland Cavaliers? Cleveland's been a good, not of late though, but they went through a stretch where they had a good, when they got Allen from the Brooklyn Nets. I thought he had a couple of good first game, but look at this, 1-4 in the last 5 games, missing they're missing in action here in the MIA in offense. 97.8 points for in the last 5 games, and is the Bucks. Are they starting to turn it on right now? The last 10 games, 6-4, 3-0 win streak right now. It's just, what's the, what was it, 10.5? 10? Let's take a look at some of the linemen. Look at this. 5 ATS losses in a row. Boy. And Milwaukee, 10 straight overs. So really, 226.5 to 228. I say this all the time in the podcast when I used to do it with Ross, is that sometimes you're going to make uncomfortable plays, you know, and some, I think this goes into that category. If you do like Cleveland, it's going to be an uncomfortable pick today if you like the Cavaliers. But you got to keep in mind, can the Bucks put in 2 great performances on the road back to back? And how do they do? And look at this. When they're on the road against a C-type team, a team below 500 in the standings, 2-5 against the point spread. I think the over again here, guys, in this game. I think the over is where you want to go. Let me get the 6-0 Habs. Okay. I like the Hawks plus the Leafs. Oh, here we go. Leafs win the cup. Do I got to bring up that Bill Barilko song again? I hate Milwaukee. Yeah, you know what? The people don't like the public darlings, right? Haven't heard you say Buddy Buckets on the Kings. I did. You missed it, Deanna. I yelled out Buddy Buckets a few times with no confidence since I've been watching. Gonna take the Nuggets. What do you mean you got no confidence in my guy Buddy Buckets? Who doesn't love Buddy Buckets? Again, check out his foundation. I wanted to know where that name came from, and he's got a foundation where he sells socks to, I think it's at-risk kids. It's really a great foundation. But yeah, Buddy Buckets, that's my guy. Bucks crash. Bucks have Denver next, I believe. Do they care today? Have Denver? Oh, did it really? I didn't see that. That's a good observation. So who observed that? That was Isaiah. Yeah, Denver. See, Isaiah brought a good point here. I always like to look at the angle, who they have on deck, right? Cleveland has Phoenix on decks, and Milwaukee has Denver on deck. So that's those big look-ahead situations. And when you're playing a team that's 10-13, and you're on a roll right now, you're thinking maybe of the Joker, right? Joker's wild right now, but yeah, give me the uncomfortable pick here, Cleveland. Yeah, Pooper, get off the pot. I just did. Boom. All right, San Antonio, Houston. Houston right now, guys, is a team that I'm looking right now. I think they're flying under the radar. Let me check to see. Look at this. Houston, 4-1 in their last 5 games, averaging 13 points, 4 and 105. Now, going into this game, the Rockets, a 1-point underdog. So basically a pick 'em here. 116 and 115. Look how tight we have it here on the computer pick. They're 7-3 in their last 10. The value index here, guys, we have Houston at minus 2.43. And if you're ever wondering why I'm looking at the screen and I'm turning my head, is that I'm looking at the second screen where all the chats are. So that's the only reason why I do that. Plus 0.3 for the Spurs, and chance of covering. Wow, look at this. 73% chance of covering. And if you're new, again, to the Raymond Report, my theory is this. The longer a team covers, the less they have an opportunity and percentage play of covering the next game. And if you boil it down to the law of average, you look at the end of the year, and this is where I started this Rain Report about 5 years ago. I went back to the drawing board and I said, okay, with parity in sports, parity to me equals the balance. And, everything has to eventually go back down to balance. And you look at parity, you look at the salary caps. You're trying to get the salary cap is trying to get balance in all the teams. And once you get balance throughout the league, you're going to get more balance in the team's record straight up against the spread. Over under, I find the over under records it's just amazing how the bookmakers can balance that ledger on the over unders. It truly is. If you go look at all the teams in any league, not just basketball, go look at any league and you'll see that it's just amazing. You know what? Got to go Houston again today. Put Bama on college basketball. Revenge for Houston. Yeah, you know what? What was last time they played? 103-91. So that was January 16th. So that's still a couple weeks away, right? But the only thing with Houston, though, check this out. The Houston Rockets, 3-6 against the point spread at home, 1-7 to the under. So they tend to play a lot of unders at home. But this Houston team, they got my attention now. I've been watching them, and the John Wall, since the trade, has been playing really great. What do you guys like in this one? Again, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This will be done every day from on the weekdays. It'll be to 2 to 3, and then on weekends 11 to noon. So let me just take a look. See, sometimes I like to on the bottom here to see if there's any trends that really stand right out. Again, we're in an overs market right now. We're on the 7-day average. We're firing like at 60 or 65% to the over, something like that. It's crazy. So look for overs today, guys. But I love the Rockets here. I think the Rockets might be the play. All right, let's go to the next play. Lineup, Kings on a roll. Ron, do you recommend parlays or do you tend to single bet? You know what? I do bet parlays, but if I do, it's like 2-team parlays. You know what I mean? Because the higher you go up in parlays, the percentage play is not in your favor. So if I do play parlays, Jordan, it's always 2-team parlays, and then I'll put a little bit, my wager. So the way I normally do my wagers is that I'll put a unit on single plays. Right? If I like 4 plays, I'll bet those 4 plays evenly, and then if I do like a parlay, it'll only be a 2-team parlay. And if I ever feel stupid and want to just take buy a lottery ticket, then I'll do a 10-team parlay just for the shirts and giggles, right? So, but I do play parlays, but it's 2-team parlays. I find you have a better opportunity of winning 2-team parlays, and if you play hockey, and you do parlays on the puck line, you're not going to get a king's ransom, but your percentage will be high. For some reason, to puck lines like plus 1.5, it's just go look at the records. They hit at a high rate. So puck lines and hockey, really good. Do you play or an average night? What's your strategy? Yeah, so that's my strategy. All right, here we go. Brooklyn at Philadelphia. All right, this is if KD is going to be in the lineup, I think I saw on Twitter he's not too happy right now. Look at Philadelphia. See, Philadelphia is like Atlanta. You just don't know who's in the lineup. And Embiid is back. Man, he's what, 30 something, like 20, late 20s, early 30s. He's got a back, a bad back of a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old. Ben Simmons, calf. So Simmons a game time decision. And you know what? Seth Curry, game time decision. And it's not to knock these guys. These guys have been put in a really tough spot, right? They're asked to play a lot of basketball games. Look at the Clippers. I thought the Clippers were playing like 5 games in 7 days. Basketball, it's not like hockey. You're not, crashing and banging in the boards. But, if you ever been to a basketball game, if you ever sit courtside, it's physical. I never realized how physical basketball is until I saw like a game courtside. The flying elbows, the hip checks, it's very, I didn't think basketball was that physical until I saw a game close up. Basketball is very physical. And it's, you're talking about big men up and down on their knees. So you're asking a lot of wear and tear. And, I laugh at Kawhi sometimes with the low management, but I get it. I really do get it. It's just until you do it and your body, everybody knows their body, right? And, that's one thing you should never question is somebody's, his heart. Mavs again, Dallas. Yeah, we're going to get to that one, Elliot. Thanks for the compliment. I'm 62. Nice guy. Right on. I meant Golden State. Okay. KD wants out. Really? He just got there. How does he want out? How does he? Oh, you know what? Hey, I say it all the time in these podcasts, right? Batman has Robin. And as soon as you bring a third wheel, that's it. It goes to hell in a handcart real quick. And I think, I think with the having Kyrie, Kevin Durant, James Harden. James Harden, he's been a pro with this, right? James Harden's been very quiet. He's just been a professional. He just goes along his business. He got out of Houston. He goes to the Brooklyn Nets, and you haven't heard a word out of James Harden, and you respect that, right? Hey, the guy goes there. He knows he's going to be the third wheel, and he goes and he beats a pro. He's a pro. I got a lot of respect for that. That Brooklyn Net thing, I just don't see it working out. There's, like Rudy Gobert said, right? There's only one ball. And you saw last night, it just, they're very inconsistent for a team with so much talent. How can you be so inconsistent? Back to this one here, 109 to 110. Looking at the Sixers, 41% chance of covering, 63 for the Nets. Now, what's in the last 10 head-to-head? Wow, look at this. In the last 10 trips to Philly, Brooklyn is 3-7 straight up, 4-6 against the number, but 7-3 to the over. Man, that's pretty interesting. On their road record, 7-2 to the over, Brooklyn. So Brooklyn tends to play a lot of overs. No defense. Not surprised. Coach Nash is offensive minded. Yeah, you know what? They said something last night in the telecast that really made me think. They said that Nash is treating this season like exhibition. I'm like, don't tell that to your players. Don't tell your players you're treating this like exhibition play, because they players want to win and players want to play. That's one thing from coaching football, is that I know players' mentality, and in the moment of a game, we're not thinking this is for fun. No, we're thinking to win. That's what winners do. Winners win, right? We are people surprised. Okay, loading management, yeah, that's pretty good. No defense, not surprised. They need to finish a few more games and get confidence. You know what, Demetrius, you're right, and I said that too. They got to learn how to finish. Hey, what was that movie, ABC, Always Be Closing? You can't go in the fourth quarter. I think teams like Brooklyn, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Bucks, the difference between all these teams is you got closers in the fourth quarter. Look in the last 3 to 4 minutes. You get to that 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and you say, okay, this is go time. This is where the pretenders and contenders either close the game out or they poop the bed, right? And last night, Brooklyn didn't close the game. They were behind a few times in that game, and they didn't close. ABC, always be closing, and they didn't close. But you're right, Demetrius. I agree, 100%. Sixers here. What's our best play later? Thanks. Yeah, we'll talk about that, Juan, Van. We'll talk about that. Let me see here. Let's go to the next game. So Brooklyn, Philly. Again, the over. So Brooklyn doesn't have a history of playing good basketball, and with the KD situation, is he going to play today? Is he game time? Is it going to affect the team? Is Embiid in? These are things that are factors, right? 10-2 at home. Philly's 10-2. You don't go. Yeah, the city of brotherly love is nothing but love when for the visiting team, right? 10-2 straight up, 7-5 against the spread. I think it's gonna be a tough task here for Brooklyn. If Embiid and Simmons do play, I think Sixers right here. All right, let's go to the next one. We got Golden State, Dallas. All right, here's Golden State won 147. Yeah, you know what? Golden State put the boots to them. I didn't expect that one. Dallas is favored by 4. Why? I pick Golden State. Well, because you know what, Chad, you remember the other night when Dallas was favored against Atlanta? I didn't figure that one out too. Rusty likes Dallas too, I guess. But yeah, I'll tell you why. Dallas, you got Luka, you got Porzingis. I don't know if he's going to play. The Mavericks, you still, even though they suck at home this year, 2-7, and yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe it is something you got to figure out, right? This is almost like a headline favorite. Sometimes you read headlines, and I think the bookmakers or the public loves to read headlines on the Dallas Mavericks because of Luka. I think he gets that attention. But let me see here. Yeah, -4. Go figure out. Let me see what the lineup is. I said this all the time, and if you read my book, the top 50 sports betting secrets, is when you see a line like this, the line will tell you something's wrong. Now, what is the line telling us? Well, let me see here. So let me look at this game. Luka's in, Richardson, Finney Smith, Max Kleber, Porzingis. Everybody's in. So I don't know. Yeah. Dallas, 3-7 in the last 10. The only thing I can think of is that home, and they're getting home loving, right? It's almost in football. Home teams get an automatic, well, not automatic, but a 3-point edge right off the bat. Maybe Dallas is getting that edge right there. Yeah, and you're right, Isaiah. They do have the talent. When Dallas wants to play, they're tough, but they're just. Let me look here. Let me look at the PVI SOS. So if you're new to the Rain Report, PVI stands for Parity Value Index, Strength of Schedule. Look at this. Dallas at home against B-type teams, so teams that are 50 to 59.9% in the standings, 3-2 and 2-3 against the number, 1-4 straight up, 1-4 against the spread. So, hey, you know what? Could be another win here for Golden State, but law of average tells me, what's the percentage play here? 62% chance of covering. Yeah, so this is a tough one, but losing last time, So the pride factor might kick in here. 147. That's an ass kicking right there. Yeah, I probably lean, if it doesn't look right, doesn't smell right, it'd probably tell you what, Dallas. I think Dallas might be the play here. Memphis, New Orleans, then I'm going to get right into hockey, guys. Let me see here. My best play is the over in the Spurs Rocket. Oh, yeah? All right, Elliot. Demetrius, fade Dallas, something wrong with them. In what sense, Demetrius? Is just the team chemistry or just, I find when Dallas, what's his name? Richardson? When Richardson gets going, and who else? There's another player. Let me see here. Dallas depth chart. 1 second here. Dallas. Hardaway. Yeah. Tim Hardaway. I find when he gets going, let me see his points in the last couple of games. 19 points. When Hardaway plays well and Richardson plays well, then, the supporting cast is there, right? And it's just, there's no I in team, but there's two in championship. And that's what I always tell my players. There's no I in team, but there's two in championship. But you need all 5 players on the floor working together as a unit. And, you can't ask, Luka gets double teamed a lot. And you can't ask a guy who's double teamed to make miracles. Richardson, Hardaway, and Porzingis made a nice play the other night. Hey, Jack, thanks, buddy. Porzingis made a nice dunk, and it got the bench riled up. You guys see that? He dunked over somebody. I forget who it was, but it pumped the bench up because, it was probably something out of character for Porzingis to do. And his teammates saw that, and they rose to the occasion, and they start chest bumping him. I love seeing that stuff. I love seeing team chemistry when it starts to unite, and it's, you need a spark. Once you get that spark, then you can start a fire, right? But right now there's no fire in Dallas. All right, New Orleans -1 against the Grizzlies. This is going to be the game of the night. You got Zion against Morant. You got 2 young studs right here going at it. This is going to be good. 118-112 for Memphis. -1 though. The one thing here with the Pelicans, it's like I said in my videos all the time. Anytime New Orleans a favorite, it's like giving your teenagers the car keys and tell them not to get in an accident, right? Just handle it with care. And that's the thing I feel with New Orleans. We're giving you the favorite role, the glass slipper, just don't break it. But, I think Memphis here, let me see. The last time they played, the last 10 head-to-head, Grizzlies, Pelicans, 109-99. So that was in the bubble. So they haven't played since the bubble. Let's look at the last 10 games, 5-5, 7-3. So Memphis had that COVID situation, right? So they didn't play for a few weeks. Yeah, right there. But since they've been back, so 129-112, 133. They lost here and they lost to the Rockets. But everybody's losing to the Rockets these days. Houston's on a hot trip. I do like Memphis tonight, guys. I'm not going to lie. I do like Memphis. Yeah, I agree, Isaiah. Started winning. Now I don't know how to score. Dallas has to get some reps in team. Dallas may go off tonight. Yeah, it's the NBA, right? You got to respect pros. You never know when they're going to show up. Just like the Bulls didn't show up last night. All right, last game. Then we're going to go right into the NHL, guys. Go right to the bread and butter, what pays the bills around here. Lakers, Pistons, -13.5, 2 touchdowns. Pistons, Pistons aren't good enough to be looking ahead, right? Arnold Palmer used to say that. There's an old Arnold Palmer joke where he's at a pro-am and then one of the amateurs is banging his club and he's throwing his club and he's just kicking his bag, and Arnold Palmer walks up to him and says, "Son, you're not good enough to do that yet." And that's what I feel the Pistons are. They're not good enough yet to be looking ahead to the last night to the Lakers. Now, the last time they played in La La Land, in the last 10 times, 1-9. They're 1-9, 2-8 against the spread, 2-8 to the under. When the Lakers are at home against C-type teams, 3-1 straight up, but only 2-2, but 3-1. Look at this, 5-1 when A-type teams face C-type teams. Let me see what's the total here. 214. Maybe the over is where you want to look here tonight, guys. How many points did Detroit score last night? I thought it was double digits. Yeah, 92. Hopefully they get back. But again, who's in the lineup tonight? Let's go look at the lineup for NBA. Let's go to LA. I know. Let me see here. Anthony Davis, game time. LeBron and Anthony Davis are always game time decisions. Hayes, Okafor. Yeah, Derek Rose. You need Derek Rose in that lineup. Maybe he sat out last night for tonight. Yeah. So if Derek Rose plays tonight, guys, getting 14 with Derek Rose in the lineup, and I know he's not the same player anymore, but he's that veteran leadership you need in situations like this, right? So give me Detroit. All right, guys, let's go to NHL. Any questions before I go off to the NBA, guys? No James for LA. Oh, really? James is out? Memphis this time. Pelicans are favorite. Makes me nervous. All right, guys, let's go to NHL right now. All right, premium reports. Do I take plus 13 for? I do. I'm on Detroit. I think Detroit depends if Derek Rose if Derek Rose plays. I like Detroit. Now there's about 3 games that are postponed today. So Montreal taking on the Sens. Now we talked about this last time. Ottawa, when they play Montreal, Toronto, that's their Stanley Cup, right? But going back to back against Montreal is going to be tough here. Carey Price should be between the pipes today for Montreal, and Matt Murray for the Sens. This is a 1:00 puck drop. How do you not take Montreal? But I'm not eating that. I don't have a large glass of milk to wash down all that chalk today, so I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. But if I do play it, look at the total. If you get the 6, like say if you get a 4-2, you get your money back. If you get a 4-3, but can Ottawa score more than 2 goals today? That's going to be the problem. That's the question I got to ask. And looking at their, let me see the history. So Montreal 6-4 straight up in Ottawa the last 10. And let me see, back-to-back games. Oh, the 1 day's rest. Yeah, how do you not like Habs today, right? For NHL bets, do you usually bet money line or do you bet puck line? You know what? A money line. I'll bet money. You know why? I'll tell you why. Look at this. I went to the beginning of the show. I talked about the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. Look at all the favorites in the NHL's winning this season. The favorites in the NHL. This is unbelievable. This is like baseball. 73% of the favorites are winning this year in the NHL. Look at this. All the green on the left-hand column. The underdogs have only had 2 winning nights the whole season. So right now, until this reminds me of baseball, betting overs. Until the charts tell me different, keep betting favorites because 3% of favorites are coming in, and I don't see. But everything has to turn, right? There has to be a reversal at one point. But right now, I used to have a rule. I still do. I still have that rule. Betting favorites the first 20 games of a season will lend you to a winning record. But once you get to that 20 game mark, then because the reason why I tell you that is because once you get to 20 games, everybody knows where they stand in the standings, and now mentally teams start checking out. Like we suck, we're 4-16. On paper we should be a 16-4 team. How come we're 4-16, right? That type of mindset. So that's why I always wait to the 20 game mark. But there's 56 game. Yeah, I know. Good morning. Yesterday was awful, Detroit. Yeah, Jerome. I know it was a bad night. Okay, so where was I? See, I get thrown off really easy, right? Oh, shiny thing in the corner. Yeah, so 20 game mark, right? Until but this year with COVID, there's only 56 games. So now we're talking, what's the 25% mark of 56, maybe about 15 games. So we're almost at that point now where you got to be careful because teams will be checking the standings, and the contenders and pretenders will start making their separate ways. But again, I do like Montreal in this one. The total, if you're going to play a total, guys, go the over. Now, Arizona, this game was canceled. Colorado, St. Louis. No, now it's Arizona, St. Louis now. Just going to make sure. I think it's Arizona, Minnesota. How do I get your book? How do I order? Okay. Anybody who wants my book, I'll give you a free copy of my book. Just shoot me an email. Like, go to the website, go to contact us right here. Leave your detail like this, and send me an email, and I'll send you a free copy of my book, Ron Raymond's 50 Greatest Sports Betting Secret, all for free. Anybody who wants to get it. I wrote that in 2009. It's not a New York Pulitzer Prize top 10, but it's good. It's good bathroom material for sure. All right, Arizona, St. Louis, 167, the favorite. So I had Arizona the other night. I think it was against St. Louis too, right? This is a back-to-back game situation. It was a 4-3 win. Can Arizona go back-to-back games? I don't know. It's going to be tough. Let me see who the starting goalie is for. You got Bennington against, actually it is. Let me see here. See, with all these COVID situation in the line feed, let me just confirm. Arizona. Yeah, it's Arizona Coyotes. All right. So my goalie site here has got to update their site here. Let me do a refresh. All right, let me see here. Yeah, Kemper against Bennington. Kemper is just stuck on a bad team. That's too bad because he's a pretty good goalie. I read that. Thank you. Vancouver. You know what? Vancouver Flames. I don't know. Vancouver, Toronto. The thing with Toronto, you don't want to get you want to stay out of the box. If you get a penalty against Toronto, they'll make you pay. Mitch Marner, one of the most underrated players in the league. This guy here he's pretty good on the power play. Austin Matthews finally starting to play some good hockey, putting the puck in the net. 2.8 to 2.6 over under at 5.48. St. Louis. The thing is, again, you want to go with a team that lost in the last game versus a team that won. St. Louis might be the play here. The over. Look at the over combined. Anytime St. Louis at home against a team below 500 in the standings, 4-1, and the same thing for Arizona. What's their 7-3 to the over in the year, 8-3. Bookmakers haven't caught up to their totals yet. What's the total this year? Still 5.5, guys. Bookmakers going to catch up. I guarantee if this goes over, the next couple of games for these two teams will be 6. So I think the over, St. Louis over is where I'm probably going to lean here in this one. All right, Vancouver, Toronto. Let's take a look here. All the Leaf fans. Where's all our Leaf fans out there? I'm from Ottawa, so I'm not a big Leaf guy, right? Still pissed off in that Darcy Tucker hit on Alfie there back 10 years ago. But I still, you got to respect the good teams. Minus 185, 6.5 is the over under. Leafs win here, 3.5, 2.8. For NHL games, where do you think there's a lot of value? Habs, do you recommend betting 1.5 Montreal? You know what? Because they lost in their last game, I do. But anytime you're betting favorites, I like more to bet the puck line. It's just, because Montreal's coming off a bad loss. Yeah, I think Montreal minus, I'm looking at a 4-2, 5-3 type game. I see a 5-3 type win for the Habs today. Toronto, things are going really well for Toronto, right? You look at their home record, 4-1. Vancouver 2-6. Who's going to be between the pipes here tonight for the Braden Holtby? Holtby, he had a good run in Washington, right? When you got a good team, it masks a lot of things. Right now, Holtby's getting lit up like Swiss cheese these days. I think Toronto, the over again, guys. I think the over in this one. Look at the over in Vancouver, 10-4. It's just that 6.5 point over under, right? We have 6.4, and because they scored 10, and anytime a team scores 10 goals and they're playing back to back like this, and I think the under is where you want to lean. I won't touch the total. I think Toronto gets another win. Let me see, where are they in the last 4-1, averaging 4.2. And look at this, Vancouver allowing 6 goals against in their loss. But teams like this is where I talk about value, right? If you like Vancouver today, you're going to get a lot of value because they're not a bad team. They just need to play better defense and get better goaltending. But they're up against a juggernaut of an offense. I don't think I'm going to touch this one. Pens, Habs win, Leafs win. Maybe 3-0. Yeah, maybe. I do like, I think Toronto here again, guys. And maybe you play Toronto with a puck line or another 2-team parlay like Jordan was talking about. That's what I would do, Jordan. I would probably, if you do like Toronto, Montreal, there's your 2-team parlay. It's not going to pay much, but and how can you go against 70% favorites covering, right? So far in the NHL, now here's the game of the day. Pittsburgh, New York Islanders. Penguins so far in the season, 5-5. Islanders, very disappointed with the New York Islanders. Barry Trotz must be shaking his head right now saying, what's going on here? We're like, 2 wins away from going to Stanley Cup last year, and we can't even find the back of the net. Averaging, what is it, on their last few games here? What's their average? Let me see here. Last 2.67 goals for on the season, last 3 games. On the year, The Islanders 2.1 goals for. They got to start finding the back of the net, or they're going to be taking out the golf clubs pretty soon there in a couple of months. Sid the Kid, the thing with Pittsburgh, it's Malkin. When is Malkin going to start playing hockey? Let's go take a look at Malkin's stats so far. Just going to look at Gino. If once Gino gets going, then the team gets going, right? Because, Batman needs Robin, and right now we can't find Robin. He's probably still in the Batmobile. 1-4. Come on, Gino, you can do better than that, So, yeah, so I think, but you got two teams that, let me see here. Wow, 5-game losing streak. Now New York only played 2 home games, so you got to give them a little bit of time here. They've only played 2 games at home. Where Pittsburgh 1-5 on the road, coming off a 3-1 loss to the Rangers and Islanders. I like the Islanders here, guys. I do like the Islanders in this one. I think there's value. Look at the value: 113 on New York, 120 for Pittsburgh. But you're getting value on both these teams. I think there's more of a. I like the Islanders a little bit better. Looking to move Malkin now. Are they really? Wow. Don't send him to Ottawa. You'll just waste him. Company loves misery loves company. So don't send him to Ottawa because misery loves company. All right. San Jose, Anaheim. All right, here we go. I had the Sharks last night. I knew San Jose was sweated that one out. Was it a final, overtime, or shootout? But not going to go back to the well here today, guys. I'm probably going to lean with the Anaheim Ducks. Look at the under in their last the games at this season. 3-9 to the under. And, got Ryan Miller between probably the pipes tonight against Dubnyk. So, you know what? I always loved Miller when he was in Buffalo. He's getting up there. He's like Dominator right now, eh? It comes from the same cut of the cloth in Buffalo. 2-5 at home this year. The only thing with Anaheim, nobody can put the puck in the net. Like, who's scoring for Anaheim these days? Let me take a look at their roster right now. Anaheim Ducks. Stats. So let me see the lineup here. Like, I looked at the lineup for Anaheim the other day. I'm like, who are these guys? Like, I don't even, I know Getzlaf and Corey Perry's gone. Enrique Grant, Terry, Silverberg. He was here in Ottawa. They got rid of him. David Bax. David Bax is a, second line grinder. Steele, Comtois. The thing with Anaheim, they got nobody who can put the puck in the net. They just got no goal scoring. In fact, let me just pull up their stats. Anaheim. All right, goal scoring. So, yeah, Max Comtois is your top scorer with 5 goals, 1 assist. You got one guy with 5 goals, Delorier, your left winger, and he was a defenseman, Delorier. He played here in Hull. If anybody knows the Hull Olympics, he played here in Hull. He was the defenseman. Now they transferred him over to the wing. And Jacob Silver. So, yeah, when Max Comtois is your top scorer in Anaheim, that's your problem. And no disrespect to Comtois, he's probably a good player, but you need goal scoring. 3-2 Sharks. Sharks going on a winning streak. You must be a Sharks fan there, Chad. Getzlaf out tonight. Really? That's you know what? Load management, right? Older vet going back-to-back game nights. The only thing with San Jose, you know what? 8-2 in their last 10 trips. Anaheim 3-7. I do like Anaheim today. I just think that it's a nice spot for them. But minus 116. I think Anaheim's a play here today, guys. I know it's let me see here. What else we got? All right, last game on the board. We keep the best for last. The Battle of Alberta. Get your popcorn ready. This is going to be a good one. These are always good tilts with the Flames and the Oilers, right? Now, the bookmakers have made Calgary a 125 favorite, over under at 6.5. We got Calgary winning 3.3 to 3.3 for Edmonton, 3.2 for Calgary, 6.6. Calgary didn't look good in Winnipeg. I thought they played inspired hockey. They had the thing I noticed with Calgary watching them play against Winnipeg. They show up for one period, then they left everybody in the room for the next period. You gotta come out every shift. You can't just play period to period. Edmonton, let me see their strength of schedule 51. See, the strength of schedule for Edmonton, they haven't played, so they played the Sens and the Leafs and the Jets, where Calgary's played the Jets, the Habs, and the Leafs. So the strength of schedule does favor Calgary. In the last 10 trips, or last head-to-head meetings, Calgary's owned the Flames 7-3, 4-5-1. And the last time these two teams met, last year, 8-3 win. Tkachuk, watched Tkachuk tonight. He's not, he's probably enemy number one for the Oilers, but who's going to be between the pipes here? Jacob Markstrom and Koskinen. So you got a good matchup here. I think it's a Sweden to Finn. You got Scandinavian matchup between the pipes, so that's going to be a good one. You know, I like Calgary here tonight, guys. I know Edmonton's streaky. The one thing I noticed with the Oilers watching their series against Toronto, you know, they're like a bit like Calgary. They're streaky. You don't know which team is going to come out. Going to be a rewatch show up. Calgary field goal over, Lance. Is that what you FG field goal? That's a good one. It's not the Eskimos and the Stampeders here. Gonna have to rewatch. Just showed up. Hey Brian, yeah, just watch the anybody who shows up late and wants to watch. What we're gonna do every time we do the Rain Report on the live stream. I'm gonna break down the games, the things that matter, right? The things that matter today is the things that are going on. So we're gonna talk about the games. Good morning, Damon. Good morning or good afternoon or good night, because we're just about to sign off there in a couple of minutes. But I like Calgary in this one, guys. All right. Hey, you know what? We had almost 40 people at one point, and we're gonna make these live streams every day. So hopefully you guys can show up and give me some input, and I'll give you the thing I always do. I love to do in these live streams is give you my perspective with experience and my code. I coach football. I've coached football for 20 some years. So I coach university. I've coached high school, and I'm a football guy. I love football. I played hockey when I was young. But I played football, baseball. I played hockey, but so that's my love. That's my passion. But bringing winners, that's my game. Hopefully, I can bring you guys some winners. So if you have any questions before I go, guys, I'd love to field some questions from you guys, and just throw them in the chat. Let's take a look at the 80% club. I want to see some of the Edmonton starts a winning streak. Yeah, they got to start one someday. Let's take a look at the old 80% club, these stats, see if there's anything that stands out. Again, I always work bottom up here. Montreal, 10-2 is a favorite last 2 years coming off an under. Islanders as a home underdog last 3 years, and they lost by 1 goal or less last game, 8-2 to the under. That's a good one right here. St. Louis as an underdog last 4 years, coming off 2 overs. 15-6, but 17-4 in the puck line. So Jordan, you're looking for a puck line. St. Louis done very well on the puck line. Yeah, good luck everybody with your bets today. Hopefully, may all the winners be yours. Edmonton as a road underdog on a Saturday night. The total 6.5, 8-2. I wish you would have told me that before I picked Calgary. Hey, thank you. I just need to learn your stats. Yeah, you know what? Great point, Lonnie. These stats, the Rain Report is not easy. This is it's a work in progress. It's been 5 years. And when you got something in your head and you're trying to put it on the website and you're trying to make it look, one of the greatest tips I ever got is when you create a website, create it for like your audience is 12 years old. So everybody can understand it. Right. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to simplify the Rain Report so that, and it's easier to understand. There's a lot of information here. This website is there's a lot of tools in the toolbox here. Islanders are the home favorite last 3 years in the month of February, 16-4, but this ain't a normal February. Toronto as a home team last 5 years in February allowed 3 goals against last game, 13-1 straight up. Arizona, a road team last 5 years coming off a win, coming off 2 overs, 8-2 to the under. So percentage play there to the under. And let's take a look up here. Ottawa as a home underdog versus Montreal. See, this is what I mean, right? 8-2 against the spread. So they always play Montreal tight. I hate betting against Ottawa against the Habs or Leafs because it's just a special game. Let me check the NBA before we go. Astrologer on Slytherin. Thank you, Ron. Good luck. Good luck with your picks today, guys. Hopefully you guys have a winning day. Thanks for all the chats today. Appreciate it. And again, we'll be back here tomorrow, 11 o'clock. I'll just go to NBA before we go. Go look at the 80% Club stats. Golden State as an underdog the last 3 years. They won last game by 31 points or less, and they're 2-1 in their 3-game cycle. 2-10 to the under. Houston as a home team last 5 years they won last game by 12 points or less, 60-14 straight up. So that's pretty good. I think they're an underdog or a 1-point favorite, right? Philadelphia home team last 2 years, 41-8. Sixers 41-8 as a home team last 2 years. Let me see here. Atlanta. The Knicks as a home team playing on a Saturday, 1-10. San Antonio during February last 2 years, 13-3 to the over. So a lot of stats here today, guys. Look at this one, 100%. When Memphis, a road favorite last 5 years, and they scored between 101, 105 points in their last game, 10-0 to the over. So, all right, guys, there you have it. Rain report for Saturday, February 6th. Hope you guys have yourself a great day. Again, if you want a copy of my book, just hit the contact us. Leave your detail. I'll send you a copy of my book, Ron Raymond's 50 Greatest Sports Betting Secrets, and hopefully we can help you out. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers.